No, you're not. I'm sorry. You aren't audible. You aren't audible. Are we audible? Hello? Hello? Hey, all people who just joined it live. Hi. I hope you had a great week.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, you're audible right now. I just heard you. You weren't audible.
That's
Cool.
great.
Hi.
It's good.
We will have a formal introduction for you later in about 7 to 8 minutes. But until then, hi to everyone who's just joined the live.
Hello.
Yeah. It's great to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Yes,
it's working.
We've got people joining. And there's so many people who just texted saying hi. So waving to all people like, hi in the live. Hi guys. It's nice to see all of you.
That's very nice. So, hello everybody. Good morning from the US, and we'll be having a more formal start in 5 or so minutes.
Yes. And yep, good morning to all those people who are joining from the US. Good evening to all of the people who are joining from India, IST time. And yeah, just in general, greetings. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all had a great weekend. And even if not, I'm hoping that you'll have a great weekend. And we hope that this is going to be a good start.
All right. That's great.
Oh, yes. And well, there's been someone who's asked if it's Michael Jackson behind the wall. Oh, yeah, I painted it and it just keeps my room alive.
I thought that was a real picture. You're very good at drawing.
Thank you.
I also tried art for some time. Oh, yeah. My brother is just coming in to test if I'm audible and work on the audio settings.
Cool. Hi. Good to have you here. So again, we'd like to start in about 5 to 10 minutes. We're just waiting for people to join. Yep.
Sure. Yeah. I'm going to use the restroom for a second. So, is that okay? All right.
Hi everybody. Well, I am very honored and delighted that all of you could join off the record session today because it's such an honor that you guys are here. This is the episode 2 of the record. We have like an extraordinary, incredible child prodigy who has joined us here today. A very young one, actually. Well, I am sure that most of you are, would actually recognize what Young Sheldon is. Young Sheldon is a show, and today we have a real version of Sheldon who's joined us today. You'll see in a bit. But apart from that, I am excited for today because it's going to be a very nerve-wracking informal session because oh, okay. I can introduce myself again for the people who are new. I am Hasini Lakshminarayanan. I am a 14-year-old. I'm going to be 15 in a month, but yeah, 14-year-old social entrepreneur. I run an organization called The First Step. It's a nonprofit organization where we've been into inspiring and empowering children, and we've been working towards youth empowerment. Apart from that, I represent Government of Tamil Nadu, that's the state I live in India. As a young nutrition ambassador, I am an author of 2 books and I'm a TEDx speaker. So, inshallah, that's about me. And Off the Record is a LinkedIn Drive series, which the first step has initiated to feature stories of young achievers and how they got up to a point as to where they are. So it's basically a very informal conversation that we like to telecast in LinkedIn and YouTube. So yeah, hi. You're on mute. I'm sorry.
Whoops. Yeah, I'm so honored to be the second person on Off the Record. And if you don't know me, my name is Soborno Issac Bari. I'm 11 years old, and I'm going to 12th grade this September. I am known for solving some advanced math, physics, and chemistry problems at a young age, and I have an undying love for math and physics.
Yes, he does. And he's got company here today because I love math as well. Maybe not as much as him, but a tiny teeny bit, if I can justify my stuff. So, yeah, thank you so much for being here. Your presence, I'm pretty sure, is going to enlighten and instill motivation and positivity in all the people who are going to, listen to this session. So, thank you again, thanks a ton for being here. It's such an honor to be here. It's such an honor for you to be here. Thank you. So yeah, I guess we're good to start as it's about 7. Cool.
Yep.
Right? Again, a very formal introduction as to how it's supposed to start with. Hey everybody, hi again to all those who joined you to the session. Hi to the people who are watching this in YouTube, on LinkedIn, and in platforms in general. Hi, a big hi. I hope you had a great weekend. Even if not, I hope they're going to have, a pretty great weekend from here on, because I'm sure this session is going to instill some amount of positivity in you and is going to keep you energetic for the rest of the week, because we've got a personality here to share his journey, which is very inspiring. Before I could go on with introducing him, I'd just like to talk about myself and about the session. I am Hasini Lakshminarayanan. I'm a 14-year-old entrepreneur. I run an organization named The First Step, which is a non-profit organization which has been working towards youth empowerment for the past 3 years. I am currently a grade 10 student in Chetna Vidyashram, and I represent Government of Tamil Nadu, the state I live in India, as a young nutrition ambassador. Apart from that, I'm an author of 2 books. I am a writer, and I'm a TEDx speaker as well. So, in short, that's about me and about the series Off the Record, as we titled it. Is a series of The First Step, a LinkedIn Live series where we'd like to feature stories of young achievers, their journey, an informal session as to how they got there to, the point where they are right now, a very informal talk, a conversation, and an inspiring journey, right? When I just say this, I'm sure the personality who we have here today on the show justifies this statement better than anyone else we've ever had on this show and people whom I've ever interviewed. As I, quoted, we've got the reality star, young Sheldon, here today. To give a very formal introduction, a very minute and brief one, I think you'll be able to, know more about him further on in the session. But it started off with, at the very tender age of 2, Suborno astound the world by solving complex mathematical problems. By the time he turned 9, he had already achieved a doctorate in physics. That is a lot at 9 years. At just the age of 11, which is his current age, he was hailed as the god of mathematics. and has delivered lectures on physics and mathematics at prestigious institutions, which includes IIT. Right? We are very, very, very honored to have the youngest professor, Soborno Issac Bari, here today. It's such an honor to have you here. Thank you so much. Hi, greetings, namaste from India, and good evening to you in the US. Thank you so much for joining us. And to begin with, I'd like to start off with the most awaited question, I'd say, from my end. How did this all happen? Were you the born Einstein, or how would you like to call? I mean, call it, because children of your age in general are more keen towards hanging out outside, playing, trying to explore and get to know more about the world. How did that interest of math, what influenced you to get into math and physics? What really, interested you about those subjects, and what really instilled the thought in you to start off young? So tell us about your journey.
Well, I was inspired to start math and physics because I was introduced to it when I was young. Other children are introduced to it when they are 6 or 7, and they're told it's a very hard subject. It's only for smart people. But I started it without that stigma, without that fixed mindset when going in. So I tried to learn as much as I could about it, and I started learning math and physics when I was about 1, maybe 1.5. So by that time, I was learning my basic arithmetic, like plus, minus, times, and divide. And my mother said, if 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 3 is 5, all of that basic stuff. And I said, well, if 1 plus 1 is 2, n plus n is 2n, x plus x is 2x. So then she said, well, 4 times 4 is 4 squared. 4 times 4 times 4 is 4 cubed. And I said, then x times x times x is x cubed. So I already tried abstracting things as soon as I learned them, and I picked up the concepts of math and physics very quickly. And if you don't think you can do math and physics, just give it one more try. Try getting into it one more time. But if you still can't do it, that's not on you. We're all born with our natural talent. And if you can't do any physics, I'm sure that you have some hidden talent, some hidden gems in some other subject.
Truly, truly. I mean, he put it beautifully together, I guess. I mean, not everyone should be best at everything. People are good at what they best possess, right? And again, it was very inspiring. And the fact that you mentioned that you were introduced to it, and that, your parents instilled the thought in you to break the social stigma, that's great, right? That's what I feel like every parent should do. Every parent should raise a child like. So kudos to them if they're watching it. And even as a student, I feel like if you see things in a way where people have put the impression under, if for example, just to quote it, if math is tough and you've been made to believe that math is tough, it is going to be tough, right? If you're able to make that break that stigma, I feel like math is something that you're going to enjoy and will love to do. And I love math as well personally. So that's great. That's amazing, and that's a great start. Moving on, right? Physical sciences include maths, physics, chemistry. You wear hats of all these trees, gotten titles and honors, got titles like God of Mathematics, 4-year-old Einstein, Mozart of chemistry. Hardly anyone in the contemporary scientific world could claim expertise in all threes, right? That too at a very young age, a very profound, mastermind. That's too damn impressive. So, to put it in short, my question is gonna be how. Uh, how did you manage to do all of this in such a young age?
Well, I think it's just the ability to either pick up or learn things quickly, or just some natural talent. And going off the title of God of Math, I I got that title because I believe that God does not reside in the sky. He resides in our hearts, and in all of us. And we have a God-given talent in some subject, whether it be math, whether it be physics, whether it be writing, whether it be art. I see you clearly have a very big talent in art, but everyone has a great talent in some field given to them by God. And I think I was lucky enough to have that talent is math. I also pick up most things pretty quickly, but especially I've had this love for math and physics since the beginning. So uh, we all have some sort of talent in some subject, and we just need to nurture it.
Truly, truly, truly. Um, Again, it is something that comes out of interest, as you put it. I think that simply answers the question. If you have interest towards something, if you have the ability to possess something out of interest and not being forced, I think you just end of the day be the best, right? As you said it. Thank you for answering that. And moving on, I hope that I mentioned all of the titles that you received. But apart from that, can you tell us when exactly these titles, that God of Mathematics, 4-year-old Einstein, Mozart of Chemistry, were bestowed on you, and by whom? Because I just wanted for people to know more about you. If I left out something, so yeah, what are some achievements in general that you are proud about yourself, that you are happy that you received, and something that you like to share to the people watching?
Well, I received the title of 4-year-old Einstein when I was 4, as evident by the name. And when I traveled to the City College of New York, which is a pretty good university here in New York in the United States. And there, I met Lisa Koiko, who was the then president of the City College, and she gave me an interview. And after the interview was over, she called me the Einstein of our time because of my outstanding abilities. So, then I received the Mozart of Chemistry title. When I was 7 in 2020, I traveled to India and received the Global Child Prodigy Award personally from Honorable Nobel Laureate Kailash Satyarthi. I'm sure you all know him. He has done many great things for children around the world, and uh, I received the Global Child Prodigy Award in chemistry. So that's why the name Mozart of Chemistry was bestowed on me. And as I said before, uh, I believe that we all are the god of something. We all have our own God-given talent, whether it be God of math, God of physics, God of writing, God of art. Uh, and so we all have that talent inside us. And so that's why I have that title, God of Math.
Ooh, that's again beautifully put together, and thank you for letting us know. Many more to go. Congrats on all of the titles that you've received so far, and I'm pretty sure that you've got a long way to go, and that you are going to be bestowed with more such titles. Right? All the best. Moving on, it's said to be that exactly 2 weeks ago, it was the 99th anniversary of Professor S.N. Bose writing to Einstein on June 4, 1924, about quantum foundations, which became a significant discovery in quantum mechanism. Right? A lot of technical stuff, but it is what it is. So this is said to be a very remarkable date. Relating it to you, is there any such date or event in your life that you can relate to any such very cherishable day, which was the turning point, which was a very memorable day, which, instilled that motivation into you, which made you wanting to do more?
Well, I've had many aha moments throughout my life, but all of them have been tracing the footsteps of other people and learning about those other math and physics discoveries. But recently, in April, uh, I thought about a new math discovery. Basically, it's something I did before when I was bored. Usually, I would just draw a bunch of regular polygons and find their areas and perimeters when I was bored. But this time, I thought of something special with them. Because when you have a polygon with a lot of sides, it kind of looks like a circle. So I thought, well, if it looks like a circle, does their perimeter approach the circumference of a circle? And after that concept, I I thought of it at Zane University, which was one of the universities I lectured at in Bangalore, at my recent visit to India in April.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of that idea, and right after my lecture, I typed it up, and after working on it for about 1 month, I sent it to my lifelong mentor, Dr. Daniel Cabot, who is who graduated from MIT, and he's currently a professor at Lehman College of physics. And I sent this idea to him, even though it was based in math, not physics, and he's given me many good ideas so far about how to further or advance my discovery. So I'm looking forward to getting that paper published, but right now I'm still working on it. So that moment was like an aha one for me. As soon as I got that formula, that equation that I used in my paper.
Well, adding on to this, also, sir, credits to you if you're watching this. The first step would, from now on, like to call you the Ramanujam of physics. Ramanujam, he is a very big mathematician here and now. Uh, I feel like with your new concepts which you're bringing to the world, your insights just reminds me of great people in the history, and I'm sure you are about to make history as well. All the best for that, and great work that you've been doing. If you could elaborate that paper, the your collaboration with Dr. Daniel Cabot on the paper based on your math discovery, if it is appropriate and feasible, could you briefly explain that in detail but in simpler terms so that people could also understand?
Okay. Could you give me 1 second? I
Sure,
need
sure, sure.
to.
Well, to be very honest, it has been super great. It feels like I'm seeing young Sheldon in reality. Meanwhile, I request Kritik to present the memento that we prepared. It's possible. So we just, prepared this very cute little memento for him, because we were, really intrigued by the idea of titling him Ramanujan of physics. So we were like, why not? Kritik,
Hi.
yes, and all credits to Dr. Arasu sir for helping us with this and for, helping me personally with getting to know more about you and helping us with the
Yeah.
concept for questions and with the title especially. He wanted me to let you know that he adores you so much and adores the work that you've been doing. So yeah. um cool. Moving on.
All right.
Yeah, over to you to answer the.
So, about my research, about what I'm trying to discover currently, uh, basically, if you take a triangle and then a square and then a hexagon and then an octagon, it starts looking more and more like a circle. And you can actually describe its approach towards a circle with a function. But this function has some very strange properties, and the paper is about analyzing these properties uh, and discovering why the function has such weird properties. Because it's a very weird trigonometric function, but it's pretty good to it's pretty cool to know that indeed you can prove using limits that the perimeter of a regular polygon with a lot of sides does approach a circle.
Cool. I mean, being a 10th grade student, there's some portion of it that I could understand, but I'm sure professionals would be super impressed by this concept. All the best, and I am hoping and I wish the best for this to be very well known out loud, right? And we just got to present the certificate the memento that we just prepared. I hope you got to notice that, and I hope the people watching are all also got to. Oh yeah, also got to see that. So first up here, right, would like to address the youngest professor, Soborno Issac Bari, as the Ramanujan of physics. Sure. Moving on. With quantum computing making waves by 2030, IBM anticipates to build fault-tolerant and highly efficient a million qubit quantum computer. What are your thoughts about that?
Say that again. Sorry.
Cool. So with quantum computing making waves, by 2030, IBM anticipates to build fault-tolerant and highly efficient 1100 quantum computers. So what are your thoughts on that?
So that's very great to hear that we're getting new innovations in physics. From what I know, quantum computers, even though they can do multiple calculations at once, they can make errors even more than the classical computers, like the ones that we're using right now to stream this event. Our classical computers don't make as many errors as those quantum computers, but I believe IBM is striving to mitigate or prevent those errors from happening, so that quantum computing is more accurate. And it's great to know that we're getting not only a more accurate but also a more quick computing system that could potentially revolutionize the world.
I mean, truly agreed with that, and thank you for sharing that. Right. Moving on, before I could, ask the next question. If people have something to question, please do feel free to put it in the comments. And just so before I can move on, I'd like to talk about Guiding Young Minds, which is an online e-magazine which is run by the First Step. It features stories of young achievers. So we like to ping it down in the comments. So please do check it out. Right. Thank you. Moving on. Right. Suborno. AI development has been worldwide right now in today's it's AI is a major source that has been developing super fast. People are now in a dilemma that it might take over jobs, and people are happy with its existence but are also confused, scared, whatever term which might be appropriate, by the existence of AI, that it would replace human intuition. So, what are your thoughts about that?
So my brother really loves AI since he studied it. He's very obsessed with computer science because he's taken both classes on artificial intelligence and quantum computing.
Mhm.
Oh, can you give me 1 second?
Sure. Meanwhile, so yeah, I again request you guys to check out Guiding Young Minds. It's an online monthly magazine where we've been featuring stories of young achievers, and yeah,
Yeah.
cool. You're back. Got.
Sorry, I'm a little under the weather, but that doesn't stop me from answering your question. I am really scared of AI. My brother insists that I use AI for everything. Uh, One time I was doing a school project for uh, world history, where I had to make a presentation, and I said, "Oh, it's so much work." But my brother insisted I could do it with AI. So he said, "You can find your bibliography with AI." His AI failed, and he had to do it manually. Then he said,
Mhm.
"You can generate all your slides with AI." I ended up deleting all those slides because they look so bad. And he finally said, "Oh, ChatGPT can help you create an outline." I ignored that outline. So uh, I don't think it's gone that far yet, but AI has advanced very quickly, as we've seen in the past few years. And I'm
Mhm.
very scared that one day it's going to take over all our responsibilities. I think my feelings toward it are kind of summed up by a joke that I heard on the internet somewhere once. Uh, me die, where a person dies on the operating table because their doctor used ChatGPT to pass medical school.
That's horrifying. And I mean, thank you for being very honest with what do you think about the current developments in tech. Um, well, as a cheap call, ChatGPT does help, but for proper, accurate researches, I'm sure that it's going to do no help. Thank you for putting that forward. Um, Moving on, Suborno. Uh, this is again relating to young children. Have you ever been to school? How was your school experience? I mean, we did have a previous conversation about this. You said you can't really relate to children of your same age. Why is that so?
Well, Preeti is in the waiting room? I thought
Oh
he was
no,
still
we are
in the
not.
meeting.
We are at the meeting.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, uh, I have been to school. Uh,
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I could not avoid the educational system. Uh, and I was admitted to a gifted and talented school, but still, that kind of wasn't enough for me because it felt so boring. I was on the verge of falling asleep several times in class, but I did keep my grades up for the most part. During So I stayed in that school from kindergarten to third grade, but I did get a pretty adequate amount of homeschooling, which allowed me to advance my knowledge outside of what those puny second graders were learning. And
Mhm.
in third grade, the coronavirus started spreading, so we had to go online. And during that time, I would often tab off of the class meeting because I was just so tired of hearing how to multiply single digit numbers. So I would often just click off the Zoom meeting and go somewhere else. So I found third grade boring, but luckily when I moved to over here, I moved a few miles away into a suburban area.
Mhm.
Uh, I started going to fourth grade, but the principal recognized my talent and allowed me to take a little test. And it said that my called a star test. It's probably not there in India. It's probably not there in the rest of the U.S., but I know it's pretty famous in New York. So I took the star test, and it showed that I was beyond 12th grade level in math and 11th grade level in writing at the time in 2021. So, uh, that means that I would be so. Uh, See, let me skip eighth, all of those grades between fifth and eighth grade, and I went straight to eighth grade. And so it was kind of weird. I was taking both fourth grade classes and eighth grade classes at once, but thankfully, that little administrative nightmare is over because now I spend the entire day at ninth grade and at the high school. Sorry, and I will be moving on to 12th grade this September. So September of 2023.
That's incredible. You do remind me of the reality star Sheldon, because he has a very similar story on point actually. You, again, as I mentioned this before, I am older than you by age, but by the look of it, hats off to you. The work you've been doing, how you manage it just by being 11, the amount of knowledge that you have is something which is very commendable. Kudos to you, right? Moving on, you have mentioned that you wish to obtain 4 PhDs by the age of 40, which to me is likely to be happening soon, because you've got so much more capability to achieve it much younger. But yeah, on what and all subjects. And I also got to know that you memorized the periodic table by just the age of 4. How could you just take it all at once? You just mentioned that it kind of was a nightmare that you had to study and take both fourth grade and eighth grade classes. How did you manage? Just let us know some time management tips that I could also implement. Really.
1 second.
Or shoes take. And meanwhile, if you people watching do have any questions that you like to ask him, feel free to post it down. I'll take it up in the comments.
All right. So, the first thing you mentioned about those 4 PhDs, of course, I'm first going to go for math and physics. But and once I finish those, I feel like the subject that I love most after those two are chemistry. I was first learning chemistry when I was about 2 years old, but I basically stopped learning it for a very long time in favor of math and physics. But now I have started learning chemistry again, and I've gotten up to 10th, 11th grade level, which is a little behind what I know about math and physics, but it's fine. So after that, I hope to get a PhD in computer science because it's a very fascinating subject. And as you said, AI is taking more of a precedence in our modern world, even though I still don't really like AI. So, about the periodic table thing, at 2, I know I've said many times, we even had some merch for one time that said on the back, memorization is a crime. But I did memorize the periodic table, and it stayed in my head for quite some time. My dad taught it to me kind of like a song. I don't know if you've heard it, but there's a very famous song out there called the periodic table song. And after that, I memorized it for quite some time. But when I was 5, I got the mindset that we should all be doing things manually. Memorization is a crime, and rote memorization, especially without knowing what's behind it, is not the best way to learn things. And finally, I just thought, why don't I just keep a sheet with the periodic table with me? It's kind of pointless to have it. Oh, sorry, excuse me. It's kind of pointless to have it on hand. In my mind, when just bringing one sheet of paper changes everything. And about time management tips, I guess I'm not the best at time management myself, honestly. my teachers would know that because I procrastinate a lot. Even though I was still able to keep all my averages above 90. But I guess one tip for time management is I'm just spouting what I've heard from other people about time management because personally I am not the best at time management. I'm not even close. But I guess uh, you could try doing things that you could try doing the hard things in your schedule first and the easy ones later, or try persevering in general. Maybe you shouldn't be saying, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it at school." Because no, you can't do it at school. No, you can't do it tomorrow. You have to start today, or you're out, or you'll end up in a very bad place. And trust me, I know that you'll end up in a very bad place because I've tried saying, "Oh, I'll do it this time. Oh, I'll do it this time," many times this school year. So yeah. Don't put off things.
Truly, because see, again, you put that up. I mean, thank you for being honest with us, because I can relate to that a lot. I am very bad at time management as well. So getting things done on time is going to help a lot, definitely, because you don't have to be piled up with work later on, and don't have to be under the stress and pressure that you have to complete all of your work at once. So that's a great tip that works out there. Thank you. And all the best on all of your 4 PhDs. Right. Um, moving on, there are many problems that a lot of people are trying to work on and are trying to solve. AI in itself is trying to solve so many problems, right? So, as a person who aspires to become a mathematician and physician, what are problems that you like to research upon and solve?
I mean, I guess the number one problem that I would like to solve is the need for manual labor. People who have to do the most boring menial tasks all the time. What's really the point of that when you can spend some time instead contributing more to the world, trying to engineer AI to do those boring jobs for you? And the second thing I would like to solve, this might be on a way bigger scale than the first one, but I want to solve something that will give us an idea of everything. I want to at least contribute one thing to our theory of everything, which is the goal of physics, to get one theory or a set of equations that will describe the entire universe for us without any conflicts. And right now, we're getting very close, but then we realized that the two main bodies of physics, relativity and quantum mechanics, contradict each other. So in one of them, we must have slipped up somewhere, or maybe the theory of everything really is untrue, and there is no point in searching for the theory of everything, and physics is meaningless. And no, we're not getting there. So, yeah, I believe I really want to contribute to the theory of everything, and I also want to contribute to making life better for other people, stopping menial labor, getting faster internet network, because I know that's affected me quite a few times. And in general, doing that would show the general population of laymen that physics, at least modern physics, is actually important to our world, and it actually makes some contribution. Because I have heard, unfortunately, so many times in the boring teacher's classroom, um, teacher, why do we need to learn this? What's the point of this? Why can't I just do something else? So many people are just bored of math and physics and don't believe there's any real point in doing it. When in reality, half of the careers that we have nowadays have some dependency on advanced math and physics. So if you want to close off half of the possibilities in our modern world, then go right ahead. But math and physics will always be the most important subject in the world. Well, science in general will be the most important subject in the world. Don't want to exclude people studying chemistry or biology.
Truly, truly. And I mean, though it was very deep and intense and complex to understand, I could definitely understand the crux of it. And it's amazing how at this tender age of 11, you've noticed so much that you want to, not just notice it, but also want to solve that. All the best. And I am sure that your initiatives are going to just see success and nothing less. Right.
Thank you.
Moving on. My question up next is, do you have a flair for learning other languages as well? And if you don't mind me asking, how many languages do you speak?
Oh, uh, uh, kind of embarrassing, but I only speak one. But as a
That-
requirement for school, I have to learn Spanish. So, yeah.
Okay, I mean that's interesting. I mean, when you've got time to do so much learning a language, I just thought maybe you were curious, but thanks for being honest and letting me know. Moving on to the god of physics himself. Um, how do you think students should approach physics as a subject? How did you make it fun and interesting? Because you just have been mentioning throughout the interview that you've got a special place in your heart for the subject physics, but most people do find it hard, boring, and not very interesting and appealing. How do you think people should approach physics in a way that is going to be interesting to them?
Well, first of all, you should learn the effects it has on our world and the innovations that it's already achieved. Second, you should be trying to do everything hands on. You should try to get equipment by yourself and test all of your hypotheses yourself. And third, don't just tell people something. Don't force them to memorize it. Set it up in like set it up like a mystery, like you want to find something given a set of data that you already have. uh, Setting it up in that mystery format and getting the students to discover it on their own will definitely be way more fun than just telling it straight to their face.
Truly, truly, true. I mean, I am sure that this is going to help people to approach physics in a different way. I'm going to take that as a lesson as well, and I'm pretty sure that I'll be into physics from now on, now that I've got a lot of motivation from you. Moving on, we've got a question from a person that see, common ideology of how people's life work is, they either after they're done with the degree figure out what they want to next do, right? It's never in 10th grade or 12th grade or even when you're doing your UGs and PGs, right? So how did this all happen for you at just the age of 9?
Wait, say that question again. I couldn't
Well,
hear the first.
see, ideally people always try to figure out as to what they want to do in life
Oh,
after they're done with the degrees, right? How did you manage to do and figure out all this by just being 9?
I feel like I had a passion for math and physics since the beginning. I've also tried doing art, and I'm doing pretty good in there. My art teacher said I'm very creative, but I feel like it's more important to me to do math and physics, and I feel I'm making more of a contribution to the world by studying math and physics. So that's why I think what I want to become is a mathematician or physicist. And finally, I also want to be a professor to inspire others to go down the same path.
That's amazing. That's very well put together. And I guess this is very evident that age is just a number, and all that is required is passion and interest towards something that is making you want to do it. Thanks for putting that forward. If there isn't any questions in the chat box, as I see none right now, one last question from my end. Is there something that you like to tell to the younger generation? If yes, what? And as a signing note, what is something that really kept you going on that you like to share?
Uh, I would like to tell the younger generation, first of all, do not focus on the phone. I fell down that path quite a few times, but do not spend all of your time and attention on the phone. It demotivates you, it discourages you from going outside and seeing the real world. And second of all, speaking of the real world, look outside. See anything you can observe. If you want to be a biologist, start trying to grow a garden. What do you observe about the plants? Maybe that will lead you to a love of biology. If you want to be a writer, start writing a story. Tell it to your parents. You get feedback from them. Because surely, if they're good parents, they're going to give you some supportive feedback and tell you what you can do better. And
Mhm.
third, in general, try to find what you want to do. Whether it's math, whether it's physics, whether it's art, whether it's writing, whether it's biology, whether it's chemistry, uh, whatever it is, even if it's philosophy, uh, it I still encourage you to do what you love because in the end, it means that you're going to contribute something.
Mhm. Mhm. Truly, truly. Thank you for putting that forward. I am sure that this is going to again instill a sense of motivation and positivity. With that note, as we not gone in any questions, I am sure that you are very self-explanatory up to a point that people are not even, having queries in mind. But a long way to go, Suborno. Thank you so much for being here today. All the best for your future endeavors. Your story was truly amazing. This is definitely one of the intense and deep interviews I've ever had. Young Sheldon, you know, 4-year-old Einstein, um, as we titled the Ramanujan of physics, whatnot. Many more such titles to be imposed. All the best and have a great day ahead. Have a great 12th grade ahead as well. As you said, you feel not 12th grade in a few months. Thank you so much for being here today. It was such a pleasure to host you. And before I can sign off, I want to also talk about my organization and the Guiding Young Minds magazine. Gym is an online magazine which features stories of young achievers. Our main motive for Gym is for it to uh, be spread across students across the country and the world, and for it to reach to about 10 lakh students for free of cost. So if you're not a student as well, please do ensure to go check the magazine out because it has super inspiring content which will enlighten spirits of inspiration in you. Um, Moving on, off the record is a LinkedIn live series which we'll be doing twice every weekends in a month. Um, if you do have a question, please do put it forward. We'll take up one question because I just saw it coming. But yeah, inshallah, that's it. And we'll be posting the link down in the comments of Getting Young Minds. So please do download and subscribe.
Oh gosh, this is all. This is a folder containing all of the artwork I've done this year in art class. Uh, uh,
Oh, yes, I'd love to see it.
yeah. Oh gosh. This is one of the artworks I did. I don't think it's the
Oh
best one
my
I did
God.
this year.
That
But
is intense. That's great.
yeah, I did a few sketches. Let me see what else I can fish up in here. So I have a few more things. That's a color scale. Oh
And
yeah.
Subarna, meanwhile, I am so sorry that I skipped this. But Nithilan, if you have any more questions, sir, please do put it down. I'd love to take that up. Meanwhile, you are recognized by former President Barack Obama. How was that moment? What did you get to talk about?
Well, I felt like it was such a great experience.
Mhm.
It was a great experience receiving recognition from him. Uh, actually received a letter from him in the mail, a very special letter where he wanted me to. He recognized me and he wanted me to keep pursuing math and science and being the best that I could be. I still remember reading that letter very vividly. Uh, uh, I still have it somewhere in some hidden cabinet in this house. Well, I don't think I can find it right now.
That is huge. That is a huge step up. And yes, I'm pretty sure there's going to be so many other world leaders who are super motivating, like, you know, President Barack Obama, who will, in the future be appreciating you. So all the best to that. Moving on, I am not seeing a question again in the comments. So with that, we like to sign up this session with Suborno's artwork, if he could present it. Um,
Yeah. Here's one that I did. They're all kind of
yeah.
bent and folded, but yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's very intense. As an artist, I've never seen artwork with this deep information and creativity in that. Again, all the best for your future endeavors in that field as well. And thank you for being here. I think we're good to end the live as we're, in about time. Thank you again for being here. And I hope you have a great day as it's a morning for you. And yeah, all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you once again to all the people who watched it. Have a good day, guys. Bye. I'll see you in the
Take
next
care.
session in Off the Record.
Bye.
Bye.